Hello and welcome back to another video. My name is Jen. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be unboxing the Prismacolor Premier 150 color pencils set. I got this as a present for the holidays and I'm really excited because I've had these pencils before, but at this point I'm down to about half the set now. So I'm really excited to be starting fresh with a brand new batch. I'll be focusing primarily on swatching the colors. Since this is a brand I've used before and one that I already know that I love, it's not necessarily a review. As you can see, there is a variety of colors to choose from, and underneath are additional trays of colors. There's 6 of these trays total, and I absolutely love all the variety of colors. It gives you so many options to choose from. I primarily use the color pencils in addition to paintings. I'll put them on top as outlines or additional details, that sort of thing, over top of gouache paint, which is an opaque watercolor. You can, of course, create entire illustrations with these colored pencils. However, it's not something that I find myself gravitating towards. I do, at the end of the video, do a tiny drawing just so you can see what they look like while blending with each other. The box they come in has a unique feature where the top folds over in a triangle shape to have them tilt as they're on your desk rather than laying completely flat. I found that to be an interesting feature. I will, however, most likely put these in some jars to have the colors that I use the most accessible on my desk as I'm illustrating. I will be using a watercolor sketchbook to swatch these in. So this is textured paper and you will see some of the white bleed through from the paper after I swatch the colors. I do show at the end a smooth piece of paper just so you can see the difference between the two. I primarily use watercolor paper, so I wanted my swatches to be on the type of paper I would be using. I will be sure to list all of my supplies down below, so if you see anything in this video that you're interested in getting yourself, be sure to check out the description. Here's a tiny bit of ASMR of the pencils and the sound they make on the paper, and shortly after I'm going to switch to a song for you to enjoy while we do some swatching.
Four miles, that's all that we got left now. Before the road will run out, before it's time for goodbyes. 4 miles until we're changing our lives. What's at the end of this ride? Don't know just where we'll arrive. But you could be there feeling like yourself. I could be there, be somebody else. We could be alright. You could be there feeling like yourself. I could be there, be somebody else. We could be alright. No looking back, eyes on the road. Only thinking about where we're supposed to go. Don't have a map, just go with the flow. There's certain things we're not supposed to know. 4 miles, that's all that we have left now. That's all that we had time for. Don't know just where we'll you could be there feeling like yourself. I could be there, be somebody else, and we could be alright. You could be there feeling like yourself. I could be there, be somebody else, and we could be alright. But you could be there feeling like yourself. I could be there, be somebody else. We could be alright. You could be there feeling like yourself. I could be there, be somebody else. We could be alright. We could be alright. We could be alright. We could be alright. We could be alright.
In my last video, I talked about some goals for the beginning of the new year, and so far I'm doing okay with them. The main one I'm on track and I'm doing well. The secondary one was to walk a mile every day, and I did fall flat a little bit on that one the past couple days because we had some snowfall and it's a little bit colder than what it's been here for a while. Last winter we had a really mild winter. It is a typical winter for the area that I live in. I just feel like I got kind of used to the warm weather, and with the snow and ice, I just haven't felt up to walking after work. But I have the next 3 days off, so I figured I'm just going to double the days and walk 2 miles. And a mile, it really isn't that long. It's just the fact that I am incredibly out of shape. The first day that I walked a mile, my legs were so sore afterwards. And it might have been because I was wearing heavy boots as well. So it was kind of like wearing weights on my feet. It might have added to it. But I definitely had some fatigue in my calves. So I'm trying to get a little bit back in shape. I feel like, for the most part, I try to stay healthy. But we all have moments in life where we don't work out quite as much as we would like, and I would like to get back on track with that. You can kind of see as I'm using these pencils, because I'm using textured paper, there's little bits and particles that come off. And if you kind of slide your hand accidentally across them, it will smear on the paper. This doesn't really affect me when I'm using these on paintings because the gouache kind of smooths out the paper a little bit, and that's the paint that I use. So I don't see that a whole lot when I'm using it as mixed media. However, I did just want to point that out. These are a well-known and loved brands, so if you've been thinking of getting them, I definitely do recommend them. I know I said this wasn't going to be a review, and that's mostly because I don't have a lot of negative things to say about them, and I feel like in a review you have to be kind of impartial. I had a lot of fun doing this little illustration of a caterpillar and a worm. It's kind of based off of, well, not really based off of, but inspired by a kid's book that an author that I follow, she's an author and illustrator. I follow them online, and I think it's called The Caterpillar and the Worm. I can't quite remember, but I was scrolling through social media as we so often do when we're bored, and they had a post about it, and I was like, oh man, I love drawing worms and caterpillars, and of course mushrooms. They're so fun and kind of simple to do, and I guess that was in the back of my brain when I decided to do this. I also took the time and went ahead and numbered all the colors off screen. I will show you a little bit of footage of the colors, the swatches with the numbers, so that you can see them in correlation to each other.
Okay, everybody, it's the last rehearsal now. And Josie, remember to open the curtains on 3. Okay, where's Ruby? Here! It's so magical how life can be. We can be anything in our own fantasy. Pirates on the sea. Everyone's here to see what we've been creating. I hear my cue, and now it's time to show them what we can do. I forget what time is when the curtains rise. I think I found home under the spotlight. I know where my heart is with friends by my side. When this moment to last forever, when we share the stage all together. I know where my heart is. I know where my heart is. Under the spotlight. Hold up, it's a final show. After all hard work, we learn and we grow. Right. Stage is set, lights are bright. Ooh. Ready to shine for our friends tonight. I hear my cue. Time to show them what we can do. Are you sure about this? Yeah! I forget what time is when the curtains rise. I think I found home under the spotlight. I know where my heart is with friends by my side. Want this moment to last forever, when we share this stage all together. I know where my heart is when the curtains rise. I think I found home under the spotlight. I know where my heart is with friends by my side. Want this moment to last forever, when we share this stage all together. I know where my heart is. I know where my heart is. I know where my heart is with friends by my side. Want this moment to last forever, when we share this stage all together. I know where my heart is. Under the spotlight is where I wanna be. I know where my heart is. Under the spotlight is where you find me. I know where my heart is. Under the spotlight is where I wanna be. Under the spotlight is where you find me.
So the only pencil that didn't come in the set was the Colorless blender. I already had one. You can get them at most art supply stores that carry this brand, and I think I got this one just at Michael's Arts and Crafts. And they're the same price. They just help you blend colors together, and since this is textured paper, it was really valuable to use to kind of make it more uniform. You also saw me use a Prismacolor branded pencil sharpener, and I do use that one specifically for these color pencils since they're soft core. The tips will break off if you sharpen them with like too fine of a point. So I like to keep them short, the shorter setting on the color pencils, kind of like you can see here in the picture. And this is how they look on a smoother paper. As you can see, they go down much smoother. It's very buttery, very creamy. A very textural feel on the watercolor paper is quite different. Here are some shots of the colors with their numbers that identify them. You can go ahead and take a screenshot or picture if you'd like to purchase individual colors. Thank you so much for watching another one of my videos. Feel free to like and subscribe. I'll see you next week.